Hello everyone, this is my video for the sequences review with GeoGebra art worksheet. I'm sorry if I have to rush this video, the priest said he must do the exorcism today. There's a video for this worksheet which I'm going to link in there afterwards. Start off with a couple of easy questions, but I'm going to show you where we're going with this before answering those. I gave the students a task to draw the Fibonacci sequence, which I can get back to being pretty close to it if I get those numbers near to zero. Actually, I can't anymore because I've changed that. Oh, well, never mind. I'll just show you the animation. This is the work done by a year 8 student about 4 days ago. And it was such a good job that I helped her to make it a little bit better. So I call this a chaos pendulum. And it depends on these sliders change the positions of the points on the screen and the lines that join those points together. And it's not completely chaotic, but it has enough chaos in there to be beautiful. I think that was the best work. But here's another one which I just did a few seconds ago, which I don't think is quite as good as the year 8 students, but I tried my best. Okay, that's mine. And this is another one that was done by a student, and that looks pretty spectacular as well. Okay, I'll run through the first questions as fast as I can, and then teach you how to do that. So here's some text, and the thing with sequences is that you have to guess the next number. It's a list, but it's not random. So 13 depends on something, and to get the 13, it's 5 plus 8, and to get the 21, it's 8 plus 13. So the next number in that is going to be 34, which is 13 and 21. That's how it works. So read the text, answer the questions. I'm only going to do 2 questions here. One is this one. Okay, what happens, what numbers are missing from this sequence? The way to answer that is how to go from 18 to 21 is plus 3, 3 to 6 is also plus 3. So it's always plus 3. So that's going to be 9, 12, and 15. It's going to be C. Okay, now here, this is the first term, second term, third term. First term, second term, third term. So in this one, the number of the term is not the same as its first, second, or third, its position. But in this one, it is. So n is either first, second, or third. So n would be 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, or 6, or 7. So in this one, the value of the term is exactly the same as the position of the term. So which one of those is going to be correct? This one's a little bit harder because for 4, n is 1. For 7, n is 2, second term. So it looks like more than one of these answers is correct. But if you check it with 3 numbers, so for example 10, n is 3 because it's third, while 3n plus 1, 3 times 3 plus 1 is 10. 2 times 3 plus 2, well 2 times 3 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8, that's not 10, it's not that one. 5n minus 1, could it be that one? I'll leave you guys to work that one out. Okay, and this one, sixth. Whenever you see something like sixth, it means n is 6. So if n is 6, put 6 in there and work it out. What's the number? Okay, I have to rush this because there's a limit on the video length that we're allowed to do. Okay, so first get into GeoGebra Classic and do make sure you have an account, because if you don't, you will lose your work and you won't want to lose this one. First point is 1, second point is also 1. That's the way it is with the Fibonacci. But to do the other points, it's better to do them by hand. So this is going to be the third point, and its y value, we could just put in 2, but it won't work. It's the y value of point A plus the y value of point B. like that, and it'll work it out now. I need point D, and that's going to be the fourth point, and its y value is going to be the y value of point C plus the y value of point B, like so. So now we have it. One more. You don't have to just do one more. You could put on as many as you want. I don't think I'll be able to get through it in time. Right, so the y value of this point is going to be equal to the y value of point D plus, oops, need the brackets, D plus, come on, this will be the fifth point, and it's the y value of point D plus the y value of point C. Okay, now we have that. Go to move and control click all the points and turn off show label. We may also go to settings and choose the color, any color that we prefer. Okay, now we're going to need some segments between those points. This is where the maths is broken, because you can't join these points together, because there's a first number, a second number, a third number, but there's no number in the middle. So the maths doesn't make any sense at this point, but that doesn't matter if it's beautiful. Okay, now we've got to click on a couple of these lines, and I'm going to change the color. And I'll choose something which I haven't chosen before. And then the other two lines can be a different color. I just have to try to make sure it matches a little bit with that one. Maybe an orange. No, that's ugly. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, we'll go for that. Then we're going to control click all of them and go to style, because it's definitely too thick. So you can turn down the opacity and the line thickness to 1 or 2. I know that makes it better. Put on 2 sliders. Not going to change the numbers at the moment. Okay, now we have to get these sliders to do something. At the moment, they're not going to do anything because they're not in any of these points. But we can soon fix that. I want to change where the X position of point B, so it can drift left and right depending on this slider here. So I just put plus A. 2 plus A, and I want it to go up and down as well. So 1 plus B. And I'd also kind of like the last point to do this, point E. So I'm going to have 5 plus 2A. That would make it move left and right more. And that's enough. Now let's see what happens when we play that. You can speed up the animations. Okay, that's not bad. A couple more things to do here. If we control click on all of the lines and then go show trace, now we're getting pretty close to what the student was able to do. But she's still better at this point. If we want to introduce a little bit more chaos into where the points go, instead of having 2 plus A in there, something as easy as that, we can go 2B, 2 times B plus A, and then we can change the value of B so that it doesn't go up so high. We can go -4 to +4. Just experiment with those numbers in there. Not bad. Now I'm going to put on a new slider, call it C, but I don't want it to go down under 0. So I put it on 0.5 going up to 2. Now I'm going to put a balloon on the end of that last point. So go circle, center and radius, choose the point, and the radius is coming from this value on the slider C. So that balloon's going to get bigger and smaller. And I want to change its color. Oops. I'm going to rush this now. I'm going to run out of time. Right, go to advanced. And I want the red, green, and blue to change depending on something. I'll have them depending on the Y position of point D and the Y position of point C. Make sure you use big letters in this. And this could be the X position of point E, like so. Let's see what happens when we run that. Well, the circle is changing its color, and we are getting some pretty good. Oh, I didn't animate C. In some pretty good shapes here. Okay, that's all I'm going to do today. All right, now we've got 3 sliders. Sliders A and B. Let's look at what they do. Slider A is going to move 2 points left and right, this one and this one, because we only put A inside in 2 different places. B is going to move them all up and down, except for the first one, because the Y positions of the points depend on the Y position of the point before, and that has a B in it. So B is going to move them all up and down, but A is only going to move 2 of them left and right. You can put more A's in there or fewer A's in there. That's up to you. C changes how big the balloon is. Quite know why we've got a second circle there. Oh, maybe I did that by mistake. Okay, it works. What else did we do? In the circle, we put some dynamic colors. So the red depends on the Y position of point D, which is that point. So as it goes up and down, that's going to change the amount of red in here. And the green depends on the Y position of point C. I didn't know what effect that would have on the color, but if I put a ×2 in there, I can see if it makes any difference. Well, it does a bit, but you just got to play around with that until you get something that looks good. You can change the opacity. I think you can change the opacity, not while it's animating anyway. And you could also put a picture in there. If you go to settings and you go to style, you can go to image and you can put a photograph inside that circle if you wish to, and turn C off so we don't see it. Okay, people, I hope you enjoyed that video. At the end of this, don't forget to go to save, put in some name. It'll save at the bottom. Share. Wait a few seconds. Copy that link and paste it into here. Okay, so our mission to make the finest art the world has ever seen. I think the student last week beat me on that one. Okay, people, I'll see you next time.